Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Friday, happy Friday. Hope you all having a great start of the weekend. I myself having a good weekend. Today is my day off. It's my Sunday. Go back to work tomorrow. And y'all see the thumbnail is here for Married to Medicine Season 11 Reunions Parts 1 through 3. I am happy that it is over because I'm getting tired of all these ladies. Every last single one of them, I'm getting tired of them. I mean, some is okay. Like I don't have no issue with a Toya like that, but everybody else, yeah, not really rocking them like for that. And I don't know, this season was not all that to have 3 parts reunion. I was sitting here looking at bored in my mind, trying to watch all 3 parts in one day. I did watch all 3 parts in one day. Glad that I had somebody with me who watched it with me. So I wouldn't be just like by myself. I had to take notes, and then we talked about the segments and whatnot. What do you think about the reunion, and what do you think about the season so far, and what your hope for next season? And to be honest, I feel like some of these people need to let go. They have one day course. It's 11 seasons in, and yes, it's a great dynamic of cast, but some of these cast members need to be shaken up so we get fresh new people in here and get new dynamics. I think it's been like so freaking getting stale. Some of the beef is getting redundant. It getting it's becoming too much and it's becoming boring. How many times we gotta get this back and forth with Simone and Quad? I think at this moment, Simone said you was done. Quad ain't on me. I don't want to see next season. Y'all try to get together. You crying your eyes out. They're trying to make the friendship work. I said, F out of here. This is like I was saying to Toya. I said to Toya, let them be surface. Let them be surface. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't see microphone always screaming at the freaking top of her lungs. Talk about you give out the answer kids and you don't do this and you don't come around. All that stuff like that. I said so what? If she don't come around until it's time to film, then you know what's up. Ain't no sense to be trying to be arguing, wasting your breath. We know, okay, Quad don't be around with us like that. Cause to be honest, I don't really see Quad hanging around with y'all ladies like that. Based on social media. She be hanging around with a lot of love hip hop ladies. Those type of crowds. She's cool with those, like the Toya and then the Bambi and then Yandy, all the stuff I see her hang out with them more than I see her hang out with y'all. So I don't want to hear about next season just Simone Quad thing because I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna turn the screen off. I said I don't want to watch this. Nah, I'm tired. I know y'all tweeting on social media. You say you're not gonna kiss behind. Let's like about every freaking season. Oh, I want to build a friendship. I want to be paying that thing. Oh, this is just going on, and I want this, and I want that, and then that you don't call me, and I don't get no text for you, and I won't hang out. I said, F out of here. I hear somebody, how you doing, God? Well, okay, good, God. All right, that's it. Hey, Quad. Okay, what's up? Because we ain't trying to do this. We get too old to be watching this back and forth with your friendship. It's done. Especially when we talk about that whole thing. You gave your and we hang out with Greg. And they never stop hanging out with Greg. And I say, you know what, Tawar, you need to realize that these ladies always, even though they pretend to be your friends, and like that, they cool and on in quotes. Oh, hold up. I'm behind the screen. Nobody say nothing, but I was waiting for people to come in and talk. But I get on in a minute. Hey, shine bright like a diamond. You beautiful like diamonds in the sky. What's up? So y'all start responding to the screen. I keep it behind the screen so people come in and start saying, hey, what's up? And communicate with me. All right, so yeah, that whole thing, whatnot between these two, I was like, okay, whatever. It is with y'all. As I say, I could do without Jackie. She could be let go. I could do without Simone too, but Simone is production pet. She like to do what production asks her to do. So, she might stay around. Heavily, she like to do stuff on her own too, like bring people in and stuff like that and whatnot. See, Craig, I'm sorry, you might have to take a step back next season. No, yeah, that's all I was saying. Yeah, they never stop hanging out with Greg. So at this point, if I were caught, I would say, you know what, whatever. At this point, we know how they roll. I'm not going to get added to anymore and get pissed off, so I'm going to move accordingly. Whether I'm coming here or not, or whether I want to be around with y'all or not, it is what it is. I won't hear nothing about, oh, I don't be around. I said, okay, Ian, yes, exactly. I don't be around till it's coming filming. Once they say cameras lights, camera, action, I be around. Other than that, whatever. And I don't need you to call it out. I say yes, and yup, I don't. I don't. And what? What's next? We already established that already. I don't. I don't come around to filming. Okay, granted. Yes. What else you got to say? Nothing. Let's move on. How you doing? How's everybody doing? If you don't want to talk about your life, I ain't talking about mine. That's point made. Period. And when it gets to that point, then why are we still filming together? Just move on. So that's all I have to say. But let's get into this thing. The three parts reunion. Hey, CM Boo, how you doing? Ciao. What y'all think about the reunion? Y'all, good day is over. Like I said, we don't need this beef anymore. Just let it be and let it be surface level, like Toy said. Just call it be. Call it out. It is what it is. Yeah, they goes Friday. Exactly. Which is my true Friday, My Fridays Wednesdays, but But it's been a good day. I've been working on my goals. I've been working on a lot of things. I've been doing my nutrition stuff. I've been going sign myself back at the gym, doing my Zumba classes, yoga classes. Like, I've been doing good lately, y'all. Keeping up my appointments. So I've been happy. I've been happy. Exactly. And they need a shake up. I'm sorry, some people needed a shake up. Shake up. Yes, I'll be on it now. I said yes, let me do it. Because I know I'll be told about it. I'll be doing the bits and pieces here and there, but I'll be doing it. The only thing about it is that, damn, when you try to eat healthy, those foods constantly, especially you eat 3 times a day and you try to eat snacks in between, those foods go by quick. And I'm on by myself. Then I got to constantly keep making food, preparing in advance and eating it. And I said, damn, if I was doing it the old way, I wouldn't be constantly buying food. Constantly buying food. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Keeping up with this and job and everything, things are good. All right, so back to medicine. Let's get to it. So Phaedra declined to come to the reunion. Y'all know she didn't come. She was so done with the ladies after that trip and whatnot. And never before seen, she had a little side confession. I think she had like a confession with the ladies. She said, y'all are devils. Y'all are trash. Demonic minions of hell. And I want no parts of it. Y'all are mean girls. And I can't see myself hanging out with y'all. I said, ooh, child. Now you just gotta cook your book and know some good recipes. Cause these vegetarians and pescatarians in my house keep me researching. I know that's right. I know that's right. Child, yes. I'm gonna cook tonight to make for like at least for 3 days. And then after that I gotta cook again. I know it's raining over here. The symbol's going off, so if you see me off, that means the symbol's acting up. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, she said, y'all are ladies of hell. I can't F with y'all and whatnot. I said, ooh, child, mean girls. And I said, it's just the day was like, wow. Cause we welcome her. We wanted to be with her. We was happy she was there. I said, yeah, y'all fans. Y'all fans. Y'all was so happy Phaedra come in and whatnot. And then y'all realized Phaedra's just the way it was. Phaedra, who's gonna be Phaedra is. I know she bounced behind, hop, skip, jump back to RHOA, even though that figure season is horrible. because we don't have Kenya anymore. So right now, at this moment, whatever. And then I know Peace Juice have her own YouTube channels, spewing some freaking damage your lies or whatever her little truth is. I said, girl, talk about your life. We don't ask you to be talking about everybody else. But we get to that in a minute when we talk about RHOA. Because I said, girl, so she left. But they was talking about the stunt that Phaedra did, that she put in check in, knowing that Paula was coming, backfiring on her, and she didn't like it. I said, at the end of the day, yeah, she not had invited Paula. Exactly. And then you gonna talk about the tea. Don't bring any derogatory or damaging information out there to spin the narrative way worse than what it was. 'Cause at the end of the day, if it was what she said it was, obviously probably not probably had seen showed that scene, and actually probably more legal ramifications. Come on now. Even Britt herself did not say she was underage. At the end of the day, she was arguing who the hell leaked it to Kenya. That's what she arguing about. But it's Madison. So it's a backfired. No, I said you should never brought Apollo. You know, Heavenly was being messy, bringing Apollo there because there was no need. Even though I know Phaedra opened the cans of worms by bringing him next season, last season reunion. Oh yeah, because you know she got her ass, she got her body lit up. Because don't say something like that. Don't say stuff like that. Because now you're making it way worse than what it is. It's already bad as it is. Right now you make it out crazy. Said she knew Paolo was coming, so she brought check in, and that helps the issue because she know that Paolo get jealous. And I said, I don't know why he's a whole married man with the new side chick that he married after he was with Phaedra, and now he's seeing Phaedra because Phaedra moved on and got to doing her thing because he was hoping that she'd be miserable. Oh, oh, got no man, I got no man, oh Lord, singing hymns and everything, and she wasn't about that life. So it's like that's that. We know now that Apollo and Shivian getting divorced and whatnot. But I say, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, she probably had played a part in it, bringing Shaq in, but at the same time, like, why he needs to be all balded? And yes, the Heavenly should have invited him, even though you did tell her, Phaedra. But you know, it is what it is. So the Quad segment, talk about Quad, and she worked through her daily thing and like that. She apologized and accepted that. And I think she still want to know about the Napa thing. I guess people was like, listen, I'm not apologizing for Napa, especially Simone. Simone ain't apologized for it. And she said she got to work through the daily. So I guess she had to work through herself because they said work through daily for what? She said, yeah, for the backlash, not for the backlash, from the recovering from Napa and all that stuff and getting back with good grace with the ladies. And the ladies, and some of them don't feel like they need to apologize. And then some of them apology was not sincere because they just apologize and move forward, even though they don't freaking feel like they deserve to apologize. And I said that's a problem. If y'all don't feel the need to apologize, don't apologize just to get it over with. And then pretend y'all moving forward, even though y'all don't feel the way y'all feel, because that means that y'all was not genuine, and that means I can't F with you right there. Because after that, I said, okay, you just staying it. It's empty apology. That's what I say. Y'all need to stop asking for apology because some of these people don't care. They're not going to say it. They don't mean it. So it's upset because she was like that you keep accusing us for kick you out of Napa. I said, what the hell y'all was doing? She didn't stay. So what is it? And I remember correctly, Tori, you was the main one. They didn't want Quad there. You didn't want her there. So you and the ladies had a little a meeting, and y'all agreed. Okay, she gonna come there for a little bit and everything. But you was main one advocating for not to come to that Napa trip. You didn't want her there because you and Quad had your own issues. And then y'all decided, okay, she could come, and then get together and try to tell her she needs to leave. And I'm not here for. I'm not. I don't want to hear nothing that these ladies talking about that they did not know that Simone was gonna do what she's there to do and kick them out. She said, "I'm nobody interrupt me. I said it myself. You know what's coming on because there's no script to freaking memorize. Shut the f up. I don't care no script to memorize. At the end of the day, when you said you need to leave, none of y'all ladies stand up and say, Simone, no, we're not doing that. None of that. Y'all just stood there, mute. Everybody on mute. Quiet. To let her go. So I want to hear y'all didn't know. Because at the end of the day, y'all ain't want her there. Or y'all wanted to gang up on her. The isolation. Y'all kicked out. She got to go. And for y'all to say, oh, I didn't know Simone was going to do that, but none of y'all stopped it either. So don't miss me with that. Y'all bullshit. That's what I'm saying. This is the problem I have with y'all. Y'all pretend y'all this high money, y'all doing this, but y'all down with the ish. Y'all all down with it. Stop playing like y'all not. Stop. And this is not me just being on Quad side because I got things about her too. But I've been saying that I didn't like what happened last season. Y'all know I was very vocal about that. I hate that, no matter what it is. If this was simulcast, let it be a simulcast. This isolation, kick somebody out or force somebody out, all that's whack. If that's the case, what are you filming here for? I said, oh no, we was like ganged up. We ain't gang up on you. I said, what y'all call that? Every last one of y'all had something to say at that dinner table. And like I said, y'all hurt by her. She's hurt by you. We going back and forth. Y'all both hurt each other. What we gonna do about it? And if she's only coming around through filming, let it be. Why we getting mad about it? Let it be. That's the type of person she is. That's the type of person she is. Let it be. I ain't gonna get mad. Shoot. Ain't messing my bad. We just know that behind when it's not filming, we don't hang out. Let it be. I'm not gonna be trying to pretend to be friends with somebody that keep always disappearing according to what y'all saying. If she disappear between filming, let it be. But don't come in and thinking next season and filming and saying, "Why is that you this is that you do that?" I said, "Stop all that. Y'all already know. Y'all already know how to move." So at this point, y'all coming on a broken record. Y'all become a broken record. That's why I said I think we need to start swapping people out so we get new people in so we get better stories and new dynamics because this so stale stuff is getting ridiculous, boring, and whack, and I'm tired for all of y'all. All of y'all, I'm getting tired of it. Y'all getting stupid with the same as issues. So Tori said the apology was not sincere, that she said it was fake and surface level with the ladies. And then she said, you gave them ass behind the kids. And she said, what's the challenge? What's the challenge? The challenge was you wasn't rocking with us like that. So we had to do what we had to do. And Simone was the main microphone, the main vocal one about all this too. So T you say her issue with Quad is like me and her Quad. I had no issue with Quad, but the thought when I have an issue with was that she started talking about me on the media. And yes, they were. And yes, I understand people saying that. Oh, yeah, she was saying oh this, oh that, but she was saying that in the show, just like y'all was saying she's young girl on the show. Y'all younged her, she call y'all old. Call y'all old, y'all younged her. Granted, yes, she gave the ageist comments. Y'all just saying. However, when it came to social media, yeah, I definitely was talking about her way before she started her own channel and way before she started clapping back, marking her and everything. Yes, it did happen. So when she started to clap back, now you had an issue. I said, no, you can't talk about her and then she not expect her not respond. And then they start going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then T said quad is a non-mellow effort factor. I said, oh, child. T, I love you, boo, but that wasn't it. Quad is a factor. So much that you wanted to figure shun her when you came in that DM, say I could give you what you want. So you're not understanding this whole thing either, girl. Because you know you watched the show. Quad is the main component of the cast, whether you like her or not, her monologues and all. And she been a factor. Because she was still married, she would still be married with Greg. You would not be in the picture. So don't do that. Don't do that. Whether you like Quad or not, she's not a non-factor factor. Don't do that. So, yeah, Paul says she's very active. She acted with King 15 times a week, and she did it that morning. She working on her IVF treatment and working on a baby. I said, oh, okay. So within a year or two with this guy, he's make you comfortable enough so you can have a baby with him. Hopefully, hope he's legit. Hope he's really legit. Just because he got the D all the damn time, all the time throughout the week, doesn't make them the best father. But we'll see. I mean, she seemed to be happy with him. He's like to be happy with her. I guess she's open to having a kid. And that's it. Because, at the point, at the end of the day, she's well enough to take it home. So Toy got a new house. I said, okay, girl. Hope you don't move again. But y'all stay getting houses and then move and house and move. And especially when you built one up from the ground up just to sell it. Just to sell it. So they go back and forth. And T was Toya saying, because I think Toya and T was going back and forth a little bit at that point. All details is minute. I don't really care about all the details. I'm just talking about the general thing. So T said, at least Toya said, at least I'm not living in nobody else's house. I said, ooh, child. Because I was called house before. So T was like, listen, you wanted me to go on war with Quad. So Toya said, no, I didn't want you to go to war with Quad. I don't need you to go to war with Quad because I could go to war with Quad by myself. Me and Quad be going back and forth on and off for years. So I don't need you to soldier up for me to go after her. What I do think that though, and I do agree, I do think y'all brought that girl in to the fold, to the group, because Quad was in the outs. When Quad was in the outs of the group, y'all brought T in. And then when y'all became cool with Quad again, y'all shunned her out. So I do understand T's feeling that y'all freaking come to me, y'all befriending me. Y'all want to be here. Y'all want to be part of the crew. And then y'all good graces with Quad because Quad was not around. And now she's back and she's in the fold. Now y'all just toss me in the side. Yeah, toss me aside. So I do agree. Y'all brought her in because y'all was not rocking with Quad at the time. So don't try and act like y'all wasn't doing that. Yes, I did. Now, whether they need you to go against the Quad is begs different. Depends on the person. But I do feel like y'all did bring Tink in for the sake of icing Quad out because Quad was not coming around. That's what it is. So I agree. Yeah, Tori annoying me again. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Tori had her little moments too. I said, Tori, come on, be for real. Y'all did usher this girl in. Now, whether they're gonna go toe to toe with Quad, that's back to different. However, y'all did bring her in to the fold, and when she's not no longer needed, she felt type of way. And I understand why she felt. That's why I said when I had that little breakdown in the freaking finale, I said that's how everybody. That's what I understand everybody's feelings about going on. How whole dynamic went around. Because it's like y'all all played a role in it. Y'all all did. And yes, heavily admitted it. She admitted that they brought her in. They brought they in. So T said, "Yo, girl, you said we shared the same D." I said, "Y'all did share the same D. What is it?" I know she wanted to go back and forth, but I said, "Girl, y'all do share the same D. Y'all shared the same D." So this I was like, T, I'm not 100% against her, but at the same time, I said, "Girl, you was not prepared. Some of the reads didn't land. I think, but I do praise you for sticking up for yourself and standing there and sticking with the ladies and defending yourself. I praise you for that. But y'all did, girl. Quan and you shared the same D, and unfortunately, that dusty ass motherfucker y'all sharing with don't deserve no P. But whatever, deserves nothing. No, what kind of tracking if he got? According to reviews, I saw the reviews. He got a lot of warm reviews, and a lot of people said a lot of decent statements on him. They did. They have a lot to say about him, and a lot of them was not positive. It was some positive ones, but most of them were negative. Mm-mm-mm. So Quad said she was not upset with T. She was not upset with T until she got kicked out of the shower. And yeah, Toy, he didn't want her out there because she's like, "Oh, why are you coming around?" And this and that. She should have let her. I was like, "Yeah, I bought her a gift and everything." So that's what probably the issue between those two came about when she got kicked out of the shower. I said, "You ain't supposed to be there in the first place," but okay. It's Contessa in the Heavily segment. I said, I'm just another segment I'm getting tired of. Get tired of it. So I think Contessa says her marriage is great with Scott. They're in therapy. They're working it out, especially when they realize the issue they have and communication and being on the same page. Yes, they've been going to therapy and they've been working out great for them. I said, great. As long as y'all continue on that path as a couple, go to therapy and enjoy yourself. It is what it is. Now, Andy, they said maybe you need to stop talk about them in the public on your YouTube channel. I said, oh. So she said, Andy, do you want me to stop my YouTube? He said, well, I don't care. You ain't talking about me. She said, yeah, I will never talk about you. But he said, they have an issue because you talk about them on your YouTube channel. I said, maybe she needs to really not to talk about them on the YouTube channel. Maybe she just needs to, because I know she like to give a lot of tea behind the scenes things and give them, but I think she overindulged a lot of information. And then also put her spin on it, even though sometimes it's not always true or whatnot, because of opinions. So the ladies is hurt by what you say, maybe just stop talking about it. Just say, listen, this what happened. This is what I know of. There's a little tea, but that's it. That's all I'm gonna give you. I'm not giving my opinions and whatnot. You need to ask them yourself how y'all what you feel and hope they will explain it. But me, I'm not explaining jack other than when I need to. Maybe that will avoid things or talk about your whole life. So the whole thing about this contestant heavily thing, I said, listen. At the end of the day, Contessa, you were saying things, you were doing a lot of things, and a lot of people had concerns, especially how he was acting and how you was coming for. I said, yeah, people thought it wasn't heavily. People thought that maybe he had been abusive. He had probably had been. Maybe not physically, but probably verbally, emotionally, mentally. So yeah, people thought about it. Have you put a word to it? But that was a point in contention in every friendship. You didn't like that she put spread lies about it. I said, so stop talking about it. You're not gonna leave your husband. And I do agree with that. I said, listen, don't talk about the person to other people, especially your friends and everything, because they're gonna have your back. They're gonna defend you. They're gonna do this on your own behalf. And then next minute you know, you're not leaving, and then they upset still with you, and then you turn on them. That's how it goes. And then also heavily, maybe if that's the issue, she didn't want you to talk about it, stop talking about it. And vice versa, and moving forward. But still, I think recently you still was talking about Contessa and Scott. Isn't recently you talk about her teeth or something? And then he might be allegedly cheating on her or something like that. You still talk about them. So I said, did you learn anything? No, she didn't care. I know she's on recently saying something about Scott. That's a child. That's a whole problem you have. You talk about sister, we need to fix it and everything, but then next minute you know, you still doing it. You're still doing it. So the whole rumor is about him not having mixed children and stuff like that. Now, according to Toya and Simone, they all have heard some rumors about Damon. They ain't just specify what the rumors were. They just said it was some rumors out there about him. And I said, oh, so your husband's not immune and exempt for getting rumors spread about him, whether it's true or not. Rumors is rumors. And when they say, "Oh, yeah, I heard something," so he said, "I heard something," that's so heavily was like, "Oh, really?" I say, "Yeah, Doctor Damon's not. He not exempt. Child, act like people scared of him." And I said, heavily, you listen to respond and not understand. She does that. She don't try to understand. She just listens because during the segment, everybody's trying to talk, and she quick to respond to something. I said, "Girl, try to understand where they coming from." And then you probably realize what's the issue is. But since you're not listening to understand what they say, you just quick to respond and defend yourself. And that's how you always end the situation you in. Because you don't listen. So T said she went to IUT, two failed attempts, and now she's doing the IVF treatment and trying other options. But I think the 2 years mark was to try other options because he's 56 years old, and I don't think he wanna be so old and then not be keep up with the children. Like someone gave her a little diagnosis or saying her little statement saying inquiry about her expertise in the field. And I said, yeah, I understand that. So that's maybe he gave that time limit, but he also understand that things like this takes a minute. It takes a while. And that's why I think he said explore other options instead of you trying to conceive. And I agree. Try the options. That's why everybody had some issue with you, T, coming in and saying, I can give you what you want, knowing that you might have complications to fulfill that promise. So Qual was saying something that I believe he should respect you. I believe he should not overtalk you. I believe he should honor you and respect your opinions, that you listen to you, don't berate you, and all that stuff. Now, she was saying that about Dr. Gregory in defense of T. Because this is stuff that we seeing that she experienced and that we was like, it was like, yes, we want the better for T and not deal with the same patterns that Greg was doing to Quad to her, which we know he's still doing it. Now, we didn't get to the physical part yet, but we see how he reacts when he upset and he berates her and he don't value her opinions and call her stupid and she's naive and all that other stuff. We seen it. And then she tried to calm him down. Don't talk to me like that. You gotta calm down. Calm down. Oh, no, you don't do that because you gonna tell me and this and that. I said, calm your little chihuahua ass down. Like, calm down. This is a chihuahua trying to think like he could do, big up like a bulldog. Going by. So, you always want to talk about Greg. Now, Quad wasn't trying to speak up for T, because if she was, she wouldn't be poking Greg and then sending T off with him. Oh, that later part. Now, I think it was on one segment that she was trying to say, she speak up for in defense of her and saying what he shouldn't be doing towards her. And then she was like, yo, I was trying to talk about it and everything. Now, I don't believe she always was sticking for her. Now we're gonna talk about that moment because I was like, she tried to act like, oh, no, I didn't do anything to. I always encourage y'all. I said, girl, bye. That whole thing with the bitch thing, I say I blame you and everybody else. I blame you, T, Greg, the people asking us questions. Every one of y'all has to blame in this whole trip going down south. But I'll just talk about that one segment. But yes, I feel like she was trying to least say that what he shouldn't do towards you and he should respect you. And she said, "Yo, what's want to talk about Greg?" And then they going back and forth. She said, "Girl, let you have you because you got my scraps and I don't want him and everything. And you shouldn't be going on DMs and lying that you promised us something and you cannot fulfill that truth, fulfill that promise." And I said, "Oh, child," she went in. Quad went in. And I was like, to be honest, T has the right to feel about Quad because Quad had been talking about her and whatnot, who she is, and marking her, stuff like that. So everybody understand why she feels type of way about T Quad. But Quad was not wrong when she was saying that you try to one up me, telling me that you could give him what he want and know he can fulfill that promise and everything, and you was after me, thinking that you go one up me and trying to shun on me because you didn't live your promise to him. You didn't give him what he needed and what he wanted, so I could be able to fulfill that need and get him what he needed and wanted. But now you have issues. So I said, "Ooh, child." But she said she was a drunk. And they said, "How you going?" And she said, "You got 2 DUIs." And I said, "Ooh, child, does she have 2 DUIs?" Say, "Girl, you don't know my name. You don't know my record. You don't know about that." I said, "Girl, at the end of the day, if she does, if you got DUIs, you got DUIs. Now, if you got 2, maybe public record, we can find that out. We can find that out if you do." I know people on media said that Quad does has it, but I don't know that. I said, "Ooh, child, girl, TDYs, don't be like Karen. Ooh, I'm lit. I'm lit." I'm Thomas Jefferson, cocky mind. You know, who's you? Huh? They call me the Guangdong and whatnot. And are you married? I said, "Ooh, she was tore up to the floor up." So don't become like Karen. Quad. So they say it was wrong for Greg to say the Quad got a big effing mouth. And I said, Greg. So when Quad was saying about the baby shower and all that extra stuff like that, she said it was a compliment. And I said, no, you wasn't, girl. You was antagonizing them. You were. She was drunk. She was antagonizing and going off and going to do what she wanted her little tirade when she was in that figure segment. I said, yeah, I agree. I was like, girl, what the hell you doing? Because I asked a question. I said, oh, would you throw a baby shower for your ex? I know I wouldn't. It's non-existent. What I throw a baby shower for? Especially for the person who put his hands on me. I'm not doing none of that. So for you to say it's a compliment, I said, girl, you was not a complimenting them. You was antagonizing them. Whether it's a degree for him to get that upset to say you got a big motherfucking mouth, I say I don't know. Because after the day, I said maybe he should have had ignored her, knowing how she is when she's drunk and she want to get it out. Because I think she's been out for a whole year and she didn't get to say, and she had to listen that, sit back and watch y'all say you the better version and you just better than God and that's that. So she finally got a chance to get a look of courage and go, yup, 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 yup. Even though I feel like that was antagonizing the whole situation. Now, should she be saying, shut the F up, you got the big F in mouth? I said, girl, ain't that freaking serious be saying all that, Greg. You could have ignored the girl. But I feel like you had an interview that she was talking about how many times she had sex with and all that stuff. And I think you started fuming for all the time she was opening her mouth. You saw King and you saw the new man she got and what he is. And she loved talking about the sex life and all that stuff. And I see all that stuff was getting to Greg. I feel like all that was eating at him. So he feel like he need to shut her up and sit down. And I said, you didn't have to do all that either. So I don't care nobody say I feel like both Greg and Quad is not over it like they say yet they are. Yes, she may move forward. And yes, maybe she got a new man. And yes, he's married. But at the same time, it's still some unresolved healing needs to be done in both ends. Because if I were Quad and you are supposed to be moved past it and don't care about him like that, I didn't even pay attention or even try to say nothing about, oh, I can do your baby shower. This. I said, girl, I said I had sex through 15 times to meet my man and I have a good time, and that's that. I wasn't even paying attention to them or even trying to reference anything toward them. I would just let them be. He said, I left you. You say you left me. And also that whole thing. He said, no, I did leave you. And all that stuff. Because, he's still getting like the fact that he bought it. And when she said she left him, I said, well, she did. Because you didn't want a divorce. You wanted to stick it in. Stick it in there. But you didn't want it. So, Paul, you was not complimenting them or wish the best for them and whatnot. You was antagonizing. And I don't care nobody say. I know some of YouTubers out was talking about they was like, I don't care what Paul said. Paul can say whatever. I said, I don't believe she can say whatever the hell she want. And then he can't say nothing. Because that was no compliment. But at the same time, I don't be going off and saying, oh, you got a big effing mouth and shut the F up or so like that. You doing the most. You doing the most. Both Greg and Quad was doing the most. And then T had to pipe in and whatnot. And then his questionings. And y'all threw the flame of fire. Mainly pinpointing what was happening. So it was added future flames. It's like, he's uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable. And then she started talking more. I was like, if y'all would have be going to do this, if y'all just went to the pool like y'all said y'all supposed to do it, and all these damn dusty ass questions that y'all like to do all the time. Gosh. So Greg is separated from the guys to protect them. I guess he don't feel safe. He said like that. So all the guys was in one room together, and Greg was by himself. And he looking around. He said, oh, okay." He said, "Why nobody's around?" So I said, that's what he did. Now Mimi joined the stage. I said, "Chad, we forgot Mimi's around." Maybe Mimi should join next season. Give her freaking thing. 'Cause you know what? They all try new people and then let them go for the sake of the core people. I said, no, let some of these core people go. Let them go. Oh, please, I don't care about no microphone anymore. I don't care about Jackie. I don't care about microphone. Let them go. So Mimi gave her little quick diagnostics of the ladies. And they said, oh, okay, Mimi. So Mimi said, listen, Quad, you got a grief. You got to hear that grief and deal with the grief. I said, yeah, she's still grieving. Whether she want to admit or not that she's so over him and moved on. I said, you can move on and still feel some type of way about it. Because like I said, if you felt you moved on, you wouldn't be doing all that extra stuff even when you drunk. Because you just want to talk and spit and talk. I said goodbye. Toya, validation. You don't need it all the time. Something about validation. It's within you. It's within you. You don't just seek a validation and approval for other people. It's within. Intentional conversation for Jackie. I said, oh child, whatever. Whatever. They said Simone needs to be less rigid and more flexibility. They said for heavily, you gotta nurture the inner child. I said, yeah, she should nurture the inner child. That's a lot of stuff. That's what she do. A lot of things that she's doing now because her inner child is fractured and broken. T, tell us how to support you. How as friends maybe support and who you are. In what way? And Contessa, you are very distracted and focus on what is needed. Also, ladies say, oh, brava, girl, brava. Nice, nice. But whatever. So Greg and Damon segment, and I said this little segment with the guys annoyed me because I was like, at one, Greg didn't want to realize he didn't want to care that he felt like he did nothing wrong. He didn't want to apologize. Took no accountability whatsoever. However, Damon, you upset that Greg sat there and he's a coward because he didn't speak about your character. I said, I don't know you know enough to even know about your character. Yes, I may know you long to know who type of person it is, but I'm not with you 24/7 and realize who you may or may not stick your dick into. So at the same breath, if you upset that I didn't speak up for your character, I can say the same thing to you. You didn't speak up to my character. When your wife going around call me a Pedialyte, and you said nothing about it. But yeah, you want me to talk about your character, boy, but I ain't talking about nothing. I don't know. I don't know. So he's sitting here acting like he's so grandstanding. You didn't say nothing. You sitting at a coward. I can say the same about you. When Heavenly was going too far online, because the ladies going back and forth, they was going back and forth. And then he said he wouldn't care less if T saying something about him online and stuff like that. I said, yes, he would care about him. And then he would try to equate infidelity to Pedialytes. And I said, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. It does not hold the same weight. Somebody accused of infidelity and cheating, It's not the whole same way of somebody getting accused of Pedialyte. You need to stop playing in our faces daily. Because one have more ramifications and consequences, and more, and one word could affect your business way more than the other one. Because at this day and age, a lot of people could cheat. Hell, some of us helping the person cheat. So at the end of the day, that's not a big deal. Because someone the pedal, yes, that's something. Demon the hell of the sheet the same. Exactly. Exactly. I said, boy, bye. I don't care no more. What you say about this whole defending you? He also had an issue that Greg denying the patients, and you sent me a text saying that they had disagreement about whether or not he told him in the text his excuse of why he cannot see a patient. Damon said, "You didn't tell me," and whatnot. And no, he sent me a text and said, "You're not seeing patients anymore, but you're not giving a reason." And he said, "Yes, I did," and stuff like that. And I said, "So if he don't have time and he's not around and he can't do so with your patients, and you feel like he's not reliable, why all you keep referring patients to him?" That's I just want to know. If he's just not reliable, and he's so big, this and that, and he's not respected, why are you still referring patients to him? So they have a both back and forth disagreement of whether or not he mentioned why he couldn't see the patients. And maybe if he was referring patients, I said, "Well, I can't see this patient. I can't. I have no room for new patients. I can't. Not right now. Take you both for the referrals, but I can't do it at this moment. So stop sending the patients to him if you feel like he's not worthy." So why not? So he said, "Why not tell him?" Greg said, "I did tell you." He said, "No, you didn't." "I did tell you." "No, you didn't." I said, "It's your word against him." And I know some proof out. I said with some freaking alleged proof out there on social media. I ain't look through it. I ain't going back and try to find that. Whatever. At the end of the day, he said he'll forgive Greg. They do want to have a sit down 1-on-one and move past it because they've been cool and whatnot. And apology. I said, what kind of apology? So while the guys was talking backstage, because they were trying to get him to apologize and whatnot about T and what was it? Oh, I think it's still the guy segment. So while they talking and whatnot, because I guess they were talking about the whole thing and how I think Curtis saying that Quad had to a whole year listen to Greg and T, maybe talk about them, ushering it. They have a voice herself because she wasn't around. She got kicked out the group or isolated from the group. She barely was filming with them to see the relationship flaunt in her face, and she ain't say nothing. And Craig said, "Look, Quad, whatever, all these names." Quad said, "That's right, yes." And I said, "Why not?" And she said, "The fact y'all ushered in him to the group to spite me is a problem. It was hurtful. It was very wrong for y'all to do that." I said, "Yes, the group did usher them in the group. They did usher Greg, and well, they always was cool with Greg. They never stopped hanging out with Greg, and that's probably the problem. And that's all I said with Carl. I said, listen, this lady said stop hanging out with him. So if you feel type of way about it, you don't want to be around him or whatnot, and these ladies didn't stop hanging out with him because they abused he was like that, then you need to know how to move accordingly with this friend group. And I would not be freaking trying to freaking beg for their friendship. I said no. Because at the end of the day, when this all went down and hit the fan, and I tell you this was happening, y'all didn't want to believe me until we had to sit down and he confirmed that he did that to me. And even so, y'all still didn't stop hanging out with him. So, Claude, you need to move accordingly with this group and stop expecting something out of them. Because at the end of the day, they show what they leeches lie. And I'm not saying you have to pick sides, but I'm just saying, like, girl, if they ain't stop hanging out with him and you know he gonna be around, either you and King don't come back and let them have it, or let them stay here and be what it is and don't give them pay them any mind. And you do what you have to do. Y'all can be in a different rooms. Y'all don't say nothing to each other, or don't feel with them like that. So either one of those two, they leave or you leave. After the day, if y'all all both gonna be here, let it be. Cause you know the friend group still gonna be cool with Greg. It's up to you. You want to stay around now. So I want to hear nothing about y'all say I don't come around, I don't share my life, I don't do this and whatnot. Let it be. And that's how you feel about her. They're telling them what it is. That's that. So they arguing. They say, how's wrong? Cause you gave your ass the kids and we hang out with Greg. He said, that's what it is. And you're gonna, and you lying. They go back and forth. They were going arguing, and then Simone getting up, doing all this, and then Quad is going back and forth with her. And they would say, what, Carmen? You're a dirty bitch. What the fuck you talking about? And I was like, that's a dirty bitch. And they said, you got what you get for, and you got what coming to you, because it's karma. They said, what karma, Simone? What karma? What karma? Because you don't come around to family. You don't do nothing. You don't be there for us and nothing like that. They said, what you talking about? What you talking about? Because I was there with who was there for you when you would look for your father. I was there for you. She said, you don't do that. You don't do that because you don't come around to cameras. You don't speak to me on camera. You don't speak to me on camera. I said I had to get him. Oh, I was like, oh, child. You come when you feel like it. You don't hang with us on camera. And I said, okay. She got what she got out of her breath. She said what she had to say. Qual had to say what to say. You know her true feelings. And then the lady had to tell Qual, I said, listen, she had to get what she had to get out of it. She tell you don't come around to filming. You don't be there to film. I said, okay, if she just like to have a friend, then why are we so pressed? Let it be. That's why I'm annoyed with this argument, this back and forth, because it's stupid. Let it be. It's an uphill battle between Greg and Quad. That's what Curtis said. Listens to their relationship, and that she had nothing to say until she come around. She had to say, and now she got King Lawrence like that, and now she got to. I guess she wanted to speak her mind, and I guess she just unleashed whatever she felt that, and she had the lick of courage, and that's why it came out. All that came out. And I did this, and it's the best of my life, and I moved forward, and this and that. You know, the monologue had to say what she had to say. And that's what I'm saying. You don't be anywhere with the friend group unless Kevin's close. I said, if that's what the case, y'all, that I don't need to hear this anymore. Y'all know what type of friend she is. Move accordingly. They said they was on that island for 22 minutes. All that went down for 22 minutes. Oh, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. All that happened in 22 minutes on the island. The whole Phaedra, Paulo, Shaq, and Sherian. And then that happened, and then we had T and Heavenly going back and forth. Then why you invited him? Why you invited him? And I agree with her. Why you didn't invite him? That was Bestie. And then she getting off, and then this whole thing with freaking King and Greg. It's like that. It was Scalar Island, but in black. Exactly. I said, so Greg has a pattern that he talk aggressively towards women. Yes, he does. He does talk aggressively towards women. He does. He does that to his current wife, and he did that to his ex-wife. So he is the problem. He's the problem. But he don't see himself as a problem. So King said he called the police station. He said the cops, the police told him and said, "Listen, they had to tell Greg, stop wasting our time. You don't have a case, not like that." Greg said he's not apologizing for what he did and everything because you don't feel like he's doing any wrong. And he's definitely said he needs to say that. I said, why you need to say that? Because that whole point when they first had to sit down and they talked to King, and King actually said, he said, nothing, I had no problem with you and all that. I ain't saying nothing. But he also said he was inebriated. So I said, you was also inebriated by talking too damn much. This is what Quag was doing the night before, talking too much. I bet they find an issue with King next season. They're gonna find an issue because they don't like God. They're gonna find an issue. Yeah, that's what they do. Move on to the next and have another issue because they got no miserable. They're miserable in their own life. They will. They probably if Quad come back with King, it gonna be something. They gonna be on in a relationship because they say you don't share, you don't do. I said why should we? Y'all have this tumultuous up and down relationship. Why I'm just share? Yeah, King picked the wrong time to have that convo. It had it been a different time and place, it may have been productive. Yes, I do agree. Especially when he went approached the second time. I said that's how you antagonize it the second time. Even though Greg had his little moments and Greg was doing the most too, you took that point on yourself, the heated moment where everybody was going off to approach him again because you just processed what he said and now you mad. I said, boy, you could have relax. Now he was saying, I don't have a problem with you. I just told her to shut the fuck up. So you told her to shut the fuck up? Yeah, she just talked too effing much. She had a big fucking mouth. And I said, you didn't have to say that. That's why I was like, why the fuck did you feel the need to say that, Greg? It was stupid. That was stupid. You didn't have to say none of that. You could have left it alone. It'd have been that. And now you said that got him going hot and bothered. So y'all shook it out. Y'all was cool. And then the whole mess with the ladies happened. And then you said, "Oh, hold up. What I mean, because I don't like what you said. Because you need to tell her, oh, she could say whatever she wanted to say. But you need to apologize." I said, "No, she cannot say whatever she want to say. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I'm glad Cecil said that. I don't agree with that." You can defend yourself. If she coming after you, and you have the right to defend yourself. But the shutting the F up and all that stuff and all that, oh, so chill. The guy tried to get to Greg and it's not going through. He was like, I don't care. Boop, boop, boop. He was blocking everything in every direction. He don't care. So wives and the guys together. Cause I said at the end of the day, y'all try to talk to Greg and he's not happening. He don't care. He don't think he did anything wrong. And so whatnot. So how you gonna move forward? Treat them how you treat them. Go on. Like, listen, we can't have you around be a liability and you is doing whatever you want to do because Quad is still around. Either you deal with that shit or we can't deal with you. Because we ain't gonna have you in your moment flipping off the other freaking handle. She doing something, she saying something, and it have to be involving you, whether indirectly or directly, and you flipping out the handle. If you supposed to be so move forward like both of y'all say y'all supposed to be, y'all should not be triggered by the other one. So y'all are lying and saying y'all moving forward and y'all not, y'all healed from each other. No, you did not. Because none of y'all, you would not be triggered by what she was saying. And Qual, you would not be doing what you was doing either. And I don't care if you want to get out with it, you want to get out. F that. I ain't worried about no Greg who said my head over to figure young one. No, I get my box rock 15 times a week, and that's what I need to worry about. Next question. So Quad and Simone try to go back and forth because Quad try to wrap around her brain and try to figure out what is going on, what's happening. I said, Quad, I don't know why you wasting your time, girl. Why are you wasting your time? She said what she said. She keeps saying the same thing. You lose around. You gave your ass to kids. We having a Greg. What you want us to do? It is what it is. Quad want to apologize for living once in time. I said, stop apologizing. Stop apologizing. Stop. It's annoying. Simone says she's done. And so, well, you accept. I accept. She didn't accept shit. She accepted only because she was told to accept it. She didn't accept it. She said she's done. So because she's done with you, next season, I don't want to hear nothing about. I want to get good graces with you. Because if that's the case, I will curse your ass out. I will curse your ass. I will curse you out. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm not gonna be sitting here watching TV screen and begging someone for their friendship. That's not happening. She done. So what I would do, it'd be a higher bar Simone, and that's that. We can kiki and kakai, but if you want to know information about my life, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. Since you all done, you don't get shit from me. Yes, I said what I said. I said it. And she said, if I get pregnant, I let everybody know. I said, no, don't just let nobody know. Just let the people you close with know. Nah, they don't deserve to be doing everything because you said that's an issue. You don't share. Okay, she don't share. She don't come around to filming. So, and what? You got other friends. I want to see this back and forth with y'all again next season because I ain't gonna be dealing with that. I'm not, especially not a shakeup. If it's the same cast, it will be the same issue, and I'm not dealing with it. So Heavenly said, contestant, we gotta make it right, girl, because this is a sister. We gotta be sisters again. We gotta be good. We gotta be cool and all that like that, and make amends. And so this is why I said, oh, you say all that, but yeah, you still talk about them. I said, girl, what's all that summons you trying to do? All that little soliloquy you was doing? It still talk about them on the media, on your YouTube page. So I said that went out the window. So Greg said, they said, ask Greg, you guys said anything to Quan? He apologized for his response. He apologized for his response. That's it. And she said she accepted apologies, but I got to say what I have to say. But I'm not going to figure coddle and cater to his emotions. Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to. Because if he wanted to bother, he would not be bothered by you saying you got sex 15 times a week. And I know he was bothered by that, and he also see who King is. It's like, oh, she laid a while, spread a while for him, but you can't do lay a while, spread a while for me, like when we was in a marriage. But I do agree, she was still antagonizing. Not with the 50 times a week, but with the baby shower and all that stuff. They have this unwritten rules that men should protect their wives. I say yes, they should. Yes, you should protect your loved one. If you're a husband and you're a partner, and yes, if I have a partner, I would protect him, and I hope he do the same. But also, I would never put my partner in a situation that he got to defend me either, because I don't really got to deal with that much either. I don't got time for all that. I like to have a good time. So yes, a written rule: you should not. A woman should not just say whatever she want to say to a man, and he cannot defend himself. As long as we don't get too physical, as long as we don't get overly disrespectful. Now, if you feel like you need to get that overly disrespectful, maybe you should talk to the guy. She said, I would be a supporter of the baby shower. I said, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Don't come up with that lie that you would be supportive of the baby shower and everything, because at the end of the day, you don't rock with him like that or her. You say you want to throw a baby shower. I said, F out of here. Support my behind. And they would say, Greg, that's not normal. What you doing? And all that's like that. I said, I don't know what that was not normal about. That's not normal conversation that you have with your wife and whatnot. I said, yeah, it's not normal conversation, but he don't give a fuck. He don't give a damn. He don't care. And I guess it was the backstage and Damon and Eugene was talking, and he was saying that something was a trigger to men and everything. He said, yeah, everything. But if you feel like that way, hey, call me a coward. So this is what it is. If you act like a coward, you're a coward. And then he go heavily. Hey, I said, heavily, stop. She was annoying me that one. I said, stop. Let them talk. Why you always gotta be? And that's my man. I said, why the fuck she always gotta be in the middle? Let David talk to him. He can handle himself. You don't have to be always in the middle of the mix of it, and always gotta give your 2 cents. You was another one annoying me too. I said, gosh, I was so aggravated. I said, let them speak. That got me so annoying. I said, this girl cannot stop at all. So that was that. That was the reunion. All 3 parts. So, I summarized it, and that's the best as I can. But like I said, some of them it needs to be a shaking up. They gotta let some of these people go. I don't know who they gonna let go, but I know definitely they should let go Jackie. I don't care how stable she was on the first chair and barely said anything 2 or 3 sentences until they was let her act. Other than that, why the fuck she was the first chair? The people who be first chair are the people who be the most drama. But sometimes that's not always the case. Because sometimes people first chair are people who are the the network likes. Like Jeanette always first chair for some reason. I don't know why. And some of the last reunions that she was bumped to second chair. I said, oh, they bumped you, girl. They bumped you, girl, to second chair. But yeah, she made it. I don't say, girls, we whack boring life anyway. Just be a friend of. No, I know what. No, don't be no friend of Jackie. Just go on completely. Simone, bye. Uh, you can keep Toya. Maybe you can keep Warren. I don't mind T, but Greg needs to go. But it's a package deal, so if he's not back, she won't be back, and that's fine with me. You can add me in here. I guess Contessa came back. I mean, I don't think they would ever give it a heavily, but you could let her stay aside for a little bit. It's just some new blood into it. Like shake him up, shake him out. I would give it to Simone too. But Simone is production people. Production like Simone because she would say and do things like they want her to do, and she would do it. Just like what she did to Mariah, it's the same thing with her. Like she really do what she needs to do. What y'all think? It should be a shakeup. Cause we about to do season 12. We want to climb with the same ass issues. Cause we do the same ass issues. I'm saying, oh, I'm done. I'm done. I can't with y'all. I can't. So what's coming up? I got to do Beyond the Gates the next Saturday. I'll probably do pre-recorded because I am behind. I'm trying to catch up. So I'll watch a couple episodes again and probably do a pre-recorded review on that and put it out there for y'all. And y'all can just make your comments, like the video. I think next week will be some social corner because there's a lot of things happening on the media that's very to talk about. The Kerry Hilson and Hilson, the whole RHOA drama, the Brit, the peace Jews in Kenya, all that stuff. We can talk about that. What else? It was a major name. But there's been other stuff. I could search through it. So any major topics y'all want to talk about, we can talk about that next week. And what else I'm going to talk about? RHOA, definitely. RHOA next week. Social, no, not social corner. Relax and chill with Mizzle. That's social topics. And Beyond the Gates next week. And that's that. That's a wrap with Madam Tamena said. Definitely need to be a shakeup. If I say anything that you may agree with or you don't agree with, if I forgot something that you want me to respond to, put it down in the comment section down below. The link to my Discord is also available. Click on that link. It goes straight to my Discord. You can it. It's there. And you can communicate with me through there. But yes, it definitely needs to be a shakeup. But yeah, I know that new Bravo show, new NYC or something like that. I don't feel like watching it. I don't think it's something that I really care for. Those young ones. I know Riley's gonna be on there, everything, but I don't care for a lot of them. I said, nah, I let y'all do it. Right now, I watch Dubai Bling on Netflix, and not interested right now. That's like a reality TV show too, with like Dubai people, like a housewife style. But it's great. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. I know replay game. I know it's a Friday night. I know people's out having a good time. But once you watch this, make sure you hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, share me out, let people know about me, tell your friends about me. And I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend. And y'all keep in touch. Peace out. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace out. You.